Have you ever woken up and felt something was wrong inside your body, even though you couldn't explain it? Maybe it was the swelling in your feet, the constant fatigue, or that strange foam in your urine that you tried to ignore. Most people brush these signs off. But what if I told you they could be the earliest whispers of kidney damage, the kind that silently progresses until one day, it's no longer a whisper, but a devastating scream? Because here's the truth. Kidney decline doesn't wait. It doesn't slow down, and it rarely announces itself until the damage is already unfolding beneath the surface. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because every single day in my clinic, I meet people who wish someone had warned them sooner, who wish they hadn't ignored the tiny red flags their body was trying to show them. I'm Dr. Johnny, and if you've been feeling like your body's trying to send you a message, even a faint one, then what I'm about to share might be the most important thing you hear today, because kidney damage accelerates quietly, fueled by inflammation, high blood pressure, hidden toxins, and the foods most people eat every single day without realizing how much stress they're putting on their kidneys. But here's the part most people never hear in time. Your kidneys can heal faster than you think when you give them the right support. And today I'm going to walk you through the exact superfoods that have been shown to calm inflammation, lower protein, leakage, boost filtration, and help your kidneys regain their strength in ways that surprise even seasoned physicians. And to get the most out of what I'm about to share, I want you to listen closely, because each food plays a very specific role, and the last three can be life-changing for someone fighting proteinuria. So take a deep breath, stay with me, and let's begin this journey by understanding what your kidneys have been trying to tell you. Because once you hear their message clearly, every step toward healing becomes clearer, simpler, and more powerful than you ever imagined. When we talk about foods that genuinely support damaged kidneys, quinoa might not be the first thing that pops into your mind, but that's exactly why it's so powerful. The most dangerous foods are the ones people eat every day without thinking. The most healing ones are often the ones they overlook. And quinoa is one of those rare foods that gives your kidneys high-quality protein without drowning them in toxic metabolic waste. It's a clean fuel, almost like switching your kidneys from a smoky old engine to a smooth, efficient hybrid. I still remember a patient named Robert, a 62-year-old retired engineer, who came to me frustrated because every high-protein food he tried made his proteinuria spike. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like everything I eat is hurting me." And he was right, because when your kidneys are struggling, even normal protein becomes a heavy burden. But after swapping his usual white rice and bread with quinoa just 3 times a week, his morning swelling decreased, his blood pressure stabilized, and within 6 weeks, his protein leakage dropped by almost 20%. Not because quinoa is magic, but because it gives essential amino acids without overloading the kidneys with nitrogen waste. And the science backs it up. Quinoa is one of the only plant-based complete proteins with all 9 essential amino acids plus magnesium that naturally supports blood pressure control, one of the root causes of proteinuria. More importantly, it's high in antioxidants and fiber that help the body push out inflammatory waste products before they ever reach your kidneys. To put it simply, quinoa gives your body high-grade protein without making your kidneys pay the price. But here's something most people don't know if you don't rinse quinoa thoroughly. A natural coating called saponin can irritate your gut and indirectly stress your kidneys. So make sure you wash it under running water until the bitterness disappears, because small details like this can make a big difference when your kidneys are already fighting to stay afloat. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because there's another everyday food much more common than quinoa that quietly lowers inflammation inside the kidneys. And most people don't even realize the hidden protection it offers. If quinoa is the quiet protector of your kidneys, then red bell peppers are the bright, underestimated shield most people walk past in the grocery store without realizing the life-saving benefits hiding inside their thin, crisp skin. What makes them so powerful isn't just their low potassium, though. That alone makes them a safe choice for weak kidneys. It's the way they fight inflammation at the cellular level, like a fire extinguisher, calming the silent burn inside damaged nephrons. I think of Mary, a 58-year-old patient who had been terrified because her potassium levels kept creeping upward. She once told me, "Doctor, I'm afraid to eat anything now." And that fear is common among kidney patients. They feel like every bite is a gamble. But introducing red bell peppers into her meals was the first time she felt safe again. 3 days a week, she added them to her omelet salads or simple stir fries, and within a month, her inflammatory markers dropped, her potassium stabilized, and she finally said, "For the first time, I don't feel like I'm fighting my food." Scientifically, this makes perfect sense. Red bell peppers are loaded with vitamin C, one of the strongest natural antioxidants that reduces oxidative stress, the very process that accelerates kidney scarring. They're also rich in vitamin A and B6 nutrients that support immune function and reduce harmful inflammation in the bloodstream before it ever reaches the kidneys. In fact, the Journal of Renal Nutrition found that low-potassium, antioxidant-dense vegetables like red bell peppers can significantly reduce protein leakage in patients with early kidney damage. It's a simple food with a clinically measurable impact. And beyond the science, red bell peppers offer something kidneys desperately need: lightness. Unlike heavy salty or processed foods that force your kidneys to work overtime, peppers give nutrients without extra burden, like handing your kidneys a breathable jacket instead of a weighted vest. But the most overlooked benefit is how versatile they are. Raw, roasted, blended, stuffed, you can shape them into whatever your diet allows. For many of my patients, that flexibility alone is a game changer, because the best kidney diet is the one you can actually stick with. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next food doesn't just protect your kidneys, it actively fights inflammation so aggressively that many kidney specialists consider it a natural medicine disguised as flavor, and you might already have it in your kitchen right now. If red bell peppers act like a bright shield, cabbage works more like a quiet internal purifier, steady, consistent, and surprisingly powerful for kidneys that are fighting inflammation day after day. Most people underestimate cabbage because it's inexpensive, common, and not nearly as flashy as trendy superfoods. But in kidney health, the simplest foods are often the most reliable ones, and cabbage has a unique ability to protect your kidneys without overwhelming them. I'll never forget a patient named Thomas, 67 years old, who told me during one of his appointments, "Doctor, I don't have the money for expensive health foods." He felt defeated, as if financial limitation meant health limitation. But when I recommended cabbage, a food that costs almost nothing, his entire mindset shifted. He began adding lightly steamed cabbage to his meals 4 times a week. Within 8 weeks, his CRP and inflammation marker dropped noticeably, and his GFR stabilized after months of steady decline. He didn't spend more money, he just used smarter ingredients. The science behind cabbage explains why it works so well. Cabbage is low in potassium, making it kidney safe even for patients who struggle with potassium buildup. But more importantly, it contains compounds like indoles and glucosinolates, nutrients that activate detox pathways in the liver. When your liver clears toxins more efficiently, your kidneys immediately feel relief because they no longer have to filter as much inflammatory waste. Think of it as unloading weight from a backpack your kidneys have been carrying for too long. And there's another critical benefit. Cabbage is rich in vitamin K, vitamin C, and fiber, which help regulate cholesterol, improve digestion, and reduce the buildup of harmful byproducts that silently inflame kidney tissues. This trifecta: detox support, anti-inflammatory action, and digestive balance creates an environment where your kidneys can finally catch their breath. No wonder several renal nutrition studies highlight cabbage as one of the top vegetables for both early and advanced kidney issues. But the real beauty of cabbage is in its versatility. Raw, sautéed, fermented, steamed, it adapts to whatever diet you follow. And when food feels simple and accessible, patients stick with it longer. That's where healing truly begins, not with complicated routines, but with consistent habits your body can trust. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next superfood doesn't just support kidney filtration, it actively helps detoxify the bloodstream in ways most people completely overlook. And it might already be sitting in your fruit bowl right now. If cabbage helps your kidneys breathe again, apples help them stay calm, steady, and protected, almost like giving your kidneys a daily reset button. People often think of apples as too simple to matter, but in kidney health, simplicity is often the secret weapon. The real power of apples lies in how gently they work behind the scenes, reducing inflammation and easing the filtration load in a way your kidneys immediately feel. I'm reminded of Angela, a 54-year-old woman who came to my clinic constantly feeling bloated, foggy, and drained. Her proteinuria was rising, her cholesterol was out of control, and she felt like she was losing her grip on her own health. When I asked what she usually ate, she laughed nervously and said, "Doctor, I don't even have the energy to cook anymore. I just grab whatever's easiest. So we started with the easiest thing possible, one apple every afternoon. No complicated recipes, no dietary overhaul, just one apple. Within weeks, her digestion improved, her evening swelling decreased, and her cholesterol numbers began shifting in the right direction. She told me I didn't think something this small could change anything, but it did. And there's a scientific reason behind that. Apples are rich in pectin, a special type of soluble fiber that binds to cholesterol and toxins in the gut before they ever reach your kidneys. That means your kidneys filter less waste, your inflammation drops, and your proteinuria often follows. Apples also contain quercetin, a natural anti-inflammatory antioxidant shown in multiple studies to reduce oxidative stress in kidney tissue. Think of it like adding a protective shield around each nephron, helping it stay stronger for longer. And because apples are low in sodium and free of kidney-irritating additives, they provide nourishment without adding stress. Another overlooked benefit is how apples stabilize blood sugar. Many kidney issues begin with insulin resistance and microdamage from glucose spikes. A simple apple eaten at the right time can blunt these spikes and reduce the daily wear and tear on your kidneys. It's quiet protection, but incredibly effective. And the best part, apples are one of the easiest foods to incorporate into real life. Sliced, stewed, baked, blended, every form delivers benefits. And when something is easy, people actually follow through. That's how healing starts: consistent choices, not perfection. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next superfood doesn't just lower inflammation. It unleashes one of the most powerful antioxidant forces known to science, and what it can do for proteinuria will surprise you. If apples act like daily maintenance for your kidneys, blueberries are the high-powered repair team that rushes in when the damage has already begun. These tiny dark berries carry an antioxidant intensity far greater than their size suggests, and for kidneys battling inflammation, oxidative stress, and protein leakage, blueberries often deliver the kind of cellular support that medications alone can't achieve. They're small, but they're fierce, and your kidneys feel the difference almost immediately. I'm reminded of a man named Eric, a 60-year-old truck driver who came to my clinic with severe fatigue and early-stage proteinuria. His lifestyle was demanding, his diet was chaotic, and his kidneys were paying the price. When we sat down to build a plan, he looked at me and said, "Doctor, I don't know how to cook. Don't give me anything complicated." So we kept it simple: half a cup of blueberries every morning, fresh, if he could get them, frozen if he couldn't. 4 weeks later, his energy improved, his morning swelling eased, and his urine protein levels dropped more than we expected for such a small dietary change. He told me I didn't change much, but this one thing feels like it's working. Science explains why. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, the deep blue pigments clinically shown to reduce oxidative damage inside kidney tissue. And oxidative damage is one of the fastest ways proteinuria gets worse. When your kidneys' tiny filters are attacked by free radicals, they become inflamed, leaky, and fragile. Anthocyanins act like a protective shield, reducing that inflammation before it destroys more nephrons. Several studies from the Journal of Nutrition have shown that anthocyanins can lower inflammatory markers by up to 25% in people with metabolic and kidney-related issues. But it doesn't stop there. Blueberries are naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, two minerals that damaged kidneys struggle to regulate. So while they deliver powerful healing compounds, they don't overload your kidneys with electrolytes they can't handle. It's a rare combination: high benefit, low burden. And in kidney care, that's exactly what you want. Another overlooked advantage is how easy blueberries are to add into real life. Toss them into oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, sprinkle them over yogurt, or just eat them by the handful. When something is effortless, consistency becomes automatic, and consistency is the foundation of kidney recovery. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next superfood doesn't just protect your kidneys. It actively reduces inflammation in your bloodstream and supports heart health, something most people don't realize is deeply connected to proteinuria, and the impact might surprise you. If blueberries bring antioxidant firepower, salmon brings something even more essential: deep anti-inflammatory healing that reaches far beneath the surface of your kidneys. When inflammation becomes chronic, every filtration unit inside your kidneys starts to stiffen and scar, and that microscopic damage is what eventually turns into proteinuria. But the omega-3s in salmon EPA and DHA are like a cooling wave that washes over inflamed kidney tissue, calming the silent storm that most people never realize is happening inside them. I'm reminded of a patient named Michael, a 63-year-old former firefighter whose proteinuria kept rising, even though he followed every medication I gave him. He looked me in the eyes one afternoon and said, "Doc, I've spent my whole life putting out fires, and now it feels like my body is burning from the inside." That sentence stayed with me. So we shifted his diet to include wild-caught salmon twice a week, nothing complicated, just simple grilled fillets. After 8 weeks, his inflammatory markers dropped, his creatinine stabilized for the first time in a year, and he told me, "I finally feel like something inside me is settling down." What he felt was real because science confirms it. Omega-3s from salmon reduce C-reactive protein, CRP lower triglycerides, and protect the delicate endothelial lining inside kidney blood vessels. Multiple clinical studies show that omega-3 intake can reduce proteinuria by up to 30% in people with early or moderate kidney damage. And because salmon provides clean, easily metabolized protein, it supports overall strength without generating excessive nitrogen waste. The very waste your kidneys struggle to filter when they're weak. In other words, salmon gives your body the protein it needs, without punishing your kidneys for it. But one thing most people overlook is quality. Farmed salmon often contains inflammatory contaminants, which can do the opposite of what weakened kidneys need. Wild-caught salmon, on the other hand, carries a pure omega-3 profile, cleaner fats, and lower toxin levels. It's not about eating more protein, it's about eating the right protein, the kind that heals instead of harms. And what I love most about salmon is how it benefits both the kidneys and the heart. Kidney disease and heart disease are deeply intertwined. Inflammation in one organ almost always spills into the other. By calming inflammation in your bloodstream, salmon indirectly reduces the pressure on your kidneys and slows down the very processes that drive protein leakage. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next superfood brings a completely different kind of power, one that protects your kidneys at the cellular level and challenges a common belief most kidney patients get wrong. And what you're about to hear might change the way you think about healthy vegetables forever. If salmon brings anti-inflammatory strength, spinach brings something even more delicate and deeply restorative: cellular protection. Spinach is often misunderstood by kidney patients because of its potassium content, but when it's prepared correctly and used in the right amounts, it becomes one of the most powerful nutrient-dense foods for repairing microscopic kidney damage. It's like giving your kidneys a shield made of vitamins, antioxidants, and natural compounds your body has been starving for without even knowing it. I remember a patient named Linda, 57 years old, who walked into my office terrified because she believed she had to avoid every green vegetable after reading a post online. She looked at me and said, "Doctor, I'm scared to eat anything green now." Her fear was real and completely unnecessary. We worked together to reintroduce spinach into her diet, lightly cooked and portioned properly. Within a few weeks, her energy returned, the brain fog she struggled with has started lifting, and her lab results showed improved inflammatory markers. She told me I forgot what it felt like to have clarity again. And that clarity wasn't just mental, it was biochemical. Spinach is rich in beta-carotene, vitamin C, vitamin K, and folate, each one playing a crucial role in reducing inflammation inside the kidneys. Beta-carotene helps protect the tiny filtration units from oxidative stress, which is one of the main drivers of protein leakage. Vitamin C boosts immune defenses and helps the kidneys fight off low-level inflammation. Folate supports red blood cell production and improves oxygen delivery to kidney tissue. Multiple clinical studies show that diets high in leafy greens, specifically spinach, can reduce oxidative stress markers by more than 20%. And here's the part most people miss. Cooking spinach reduces its potassium significantly. That means it becomes safer, gentler, and more suitable for people with mild to moderate kidney issues. Lightly steaming or sautéing spinach not only lowers potassium, but unlocks more antioxidants, making it more bioavailable. In other words, when prepared correctly, spinach can nourish your kidneys without overwhelming them. Spinach also supports the gut, and a healthy gut dramatically reduces the load on your kidneys. The fiber in cooked spinach helps bind toxins in the digestive tract so they never reach your bloodstream, meaning your kidneys don't have to work overtime to remove them later. Small adjustments like this create meaningful changes over time. But knowing this alone isn't enough because the next superfood doesn't just soothe inflammation. It actively lowers uric acid, prevents painful kidney stones, and protects your kidneys from a type of damage most people don't even know they're at risk for. At the end of the day, I want you to remember one thing: your kidneys are not giving up on you. Every small change you make, every bowl of nourishing food, every good choice, every step toward taking care of yourself helps them fight a little harder and heal a little deeper. And if you're watching this right now, it already means you care about your health more than you realize. And that alone is a powerful first step. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're simply beginning a new chapter where your kidneys finally get the support they've been waiting for. If today's video helped you understand your body a little better, do me one favor: save this video so you can come back whenever you need guidance, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I share the newest, most practical medical insights to help you protect your kidneys, lower your creatinine, manage proteinuria, and stay out of danger long before it appears. And trust me, I don't want you to miss what's coming next, because every week I release information that can truly change the direction of your health. And before we close, let me leave you with this. Healing is not about perfection. It's about consistency, awareness, and believing that your body can still fight for you. Your kidneys have an incredible capacity to recover when given the right support. And no matter where you are today, there is always hope, always progress to be made, and always a path forward. Thank you for spending your time with me. Take care of your kidneys, take care of your body, and take care of yourself. I'm Dr. Johnny, and I'll see you in the next video where your journey to better health continues.